Alright, welcome back. This week's what number 2, will be shielding gas diffusers, and we're going to do traditional versus a gas lens type. So, to describe a traditional gas lens, a traditional gas diffuser is, we've got the diffuser screws into the torch body, or the head, and it's got these ports drilled into it, and that's where the gas will come out of. Gas comes in through the hose and will come out of these ports. And when it comes out, it's kind of turbulent, it's bouncing all over the place, trying to just work its way out. And then when it comes down to your workpiece here, it's still turbulent, it's just bouncing around. And so because of that, you kind of have to keep, your tungsten stick out is maybe 3/8 of an inch, and you need to maintain a good work distance so that you don't lose your shielding gas and contaminate your metal. So the advantage is then for the gas lenses is that they produce a collinear type gas flow. And what it is this is the the diffuser that screws into the torch head, and instead of like 4 or 5 ports drilled up here, it's like a lens where, I haven't counted them, but say 50 holes that when the gas comes down and it just channels it in collinear movement to each other, which allows you to have a slightly larger stick out because you're less likely to lose shielding if you pull the torch away a little bit. So you can have a stick out 1/2 inch, possibly 3/4 of an inch, and still be perfectly fine with your shielding gas. So that's it really helps out. One of the big places that helps out is when you get into some welding some frames, Baja frames, tubing joints, TKY connections, stuff like this, where you need that extra extension in your electrode, because otherwise your gas cup is going to interfere with your work. So a few other things to look at that the gas lens will provide you is, with the additional stick out of the tungsten electrode, you're going to have a lot better visibility of what's going on. Also, for things like stainless steel and any highly reactive metals like titanium, it really helps create additional shielding so that the atmosphere doesn't get in there. And it's at least it gives the weld some time to cool before the oxygen in the atmosphere will have time to react with the metal and discolor and just contaminate the weld. Also, that's the thing, I threw trailing gas on there. It's not necessarily trailing gas. If you have trailing gas, what you really will have is some sort of, this joint's going this way instead. You'll end up with kind of a shroud like this, that you'll have gas flow coming down, and what it's doing is it's just creating some additional shielding from the atmosphere. And by the time, say you're running really high heat, your weld's still hot out here, so it's still being shielded, but by the time you lose shielding out here, the weld is 100% cooled and not going to be affected by the atmosphere. So that's where you'll run into a trailing shield, which I put it on there because of the collinear effect of this gas lens. You get more trailing shield as well than you would with a traditional type, which is just a turbulent. So there we have a little pro-con versus traditional gas diffusers and gas lens gas diffusers. Hope you enjoy. like, comment, subscribe, and please put some comments in there about certain things that you would like to see that's a welding engineering type topic so that I can explain the situation and what's going on. Thank you.